I'm not saying that people are gonna turn up on my doorstep and murder me, although for the record, I don't really care if they do. You know, I times the whole, we're totally good, we're doing this, it's God's will, murder all the people, save. So Sally was now in the possession of a murdering arsehole. Well, that was a pity, but at least Laura would be able to lead the fight back against the Lodicios. And being mutilated. That's another man being murdered. How long until we're even? You know. I mean, it truly is this. I have good charisma, and I socialise, but I am an arsehole who murders people constantly. You really? I'm not a good man. Girl, fucking a creepy old man, and oh look, there's a child being murdered. Oh, and there's a wolf being put down. I'm more likely to be murdered by benefit sanctions than I am to be murdered by an actual murderer. So yay! Yay! I've been walking, and that's been cool. To extreme lengths to stop this. But if your own citizens want to literally murder each other, then well, that's fine. Was this guy who murdered someone on The Wire season 2? Now I am going to go up and sort of. So here's what happened. Please don't murder me. Very sorry. Thank you. And then yesterday, not even if they fucking murdered someone in plain fucking sight and the entire world knows that they have. Whereas in America, like, you'll straight up murder people. So, I mean, that's not to say that, you know, like, they're very, very pro-cop. But you can't keep murdering people without expecting them to one day fight back. Only humans can make our young murder everything so very, very, very easily. And I think I've gotten a bit off topic here. Quite that bad, you know. He's not quite, and then we'll murder all the Jews. But almost. Yeah. Theft and piracy are more acceptable than, you know, murder and genocide. And fully rounded three-dimensional characters that you are utterly murdering, but you must murder them if you want to get ahead and have the epic. It's kind of, yeah, meat is murder is a big thing of the series for me. It's just that it's a saying, we will let you, murderer, eater of a woman, go if you help us, then things must be serious. He knows. Clear video evidence of white police force murdering black people who do nothing wrong. How do they the default? I'm just gonna have fun murdering these people, and yeah, it's gonna be tough, but hey, I can fill up with autism. I want to kill you, I want to murder you. And then they say, vote UKIP, you're my friend. No, you just said all those are genuine racism and wants to be ready to murder black people. We're grown up because we've got torture, we've got murder, we've got people with daddy issues. Yeah. But it's fun. Like, yes, I will now murder you and engage in a game of murder. It's wonderful in its fucking barbaric. Kill them, quick, everybody, after them, murder them all, and make me a massive clone army. Yeah, and proudly standing up in favour of murdered children. Are proudly standing up in favour of murdered black people. We are already, with all their information, you can get into their bank accounts, you can find out where they are, you can murder them. We need now, and so he goes in, and he takes charge, murder kills everyone, and says, right, I have restored the Republic. Everything. A psychotic, sadistic, lustful, murderous monster. Essentially, the were-shark just wants to kill.
Not Joe Kill is the guy who murders Bruce's parents, and you can kind of see that, you know, if the Joker had killed Bruce's parents and the Joker of mankind, and I am a raging murderer, but what do you do after that? What do you do after admitting coldly has a drink with a man before murdering him? The Doctor is not nice in Deep Breath and in Into the Dalek
Confederate flag. Oh, that makes it so much better that Uncle Johnny got murdered. Chris Rock gave a speech about we'll make the world better. Just please don't murder me. No, that's feminists never do anything like that. But still, you know, it's you don't
need another film that is encouraging people to murder sharks. Yes, that's what we need. Now, I appreciate Sharknado.
Meat is murder. And then Konami as a symbol of mega corporate evil. The arrogance of cat. Do you want to say goodbye to? Do you want to say hello to the child you murdered in your little war? Because we've got him here. Say hello to your child. The liberals are being namby-pamby and anti-gun, and they get murdered in the streets.
Because they are legally defensible to murder. That's kind of a level of discrimination. Okay? It's as simple as that. You can fuck with men. Go out, murder men, I don't care, I'm a butler. Men do
us because religion generally isn't keen on the whole rape, murder and cannibalism deal. But over time, the shock faded and centuries of inbreeding. Until, finally, you get Noah, and God says, I'm gonna murder everyone. Are you okay? 90% of your time siding with these evil demonic creatures as they murder people left and right. But everything else was changed by me. Mr. Lumpkin said, but that's murder. The Bamka shook her head. I consulted with Lisa every step of the way. Your character is murdered because you got a 0. Or your character is murdered because you got a -1. Or something. And it's like, you were at the feast, murder. You were at the feast, murder. And then, like, the champion themselves, what we need to be doing is kind of stopping the let's make it legally okay to murder transgender people because, you know, it's kind of fair enough because you know, they murder and rape and are horrible. But still, it's kind of like, because fucking you're gonna murder us both. I have to kill you. Sorry. Like, it's going, you know, an area where police will beat you up, will murder you if you're black, and you can't do anything. That it's genuinely a legal line of defense in America against murder that, no, but they were transgender. Chaos and hell and insanity and nerdery. And then college happened. And then university happened. And university, I have had everything that I love threatened with murder, with rape, with dissection. Having the simple, clear choice between you can have this product with murder or without it is too simple. Where having a safe space is seen as being utterly horrible, but having a gun to murder other people you dislike, that's to hunt them all down, and now I will do so.
For I am Captain Ahab, and I will murder all sharks because they are evil. Remorselessly, horrifically, you go out and you kill and you murder and you take and you do it all. That's the Doctor being the hero. And let me explain something to you people. A man who murders and commits genocide on a weekly basis. This fucker has assassinated British citizens and murdered the poor. And that's not on. And, you know, even people, if you're going to pirate, that's not a good thing, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, murder and genocide are a bit worse. A world that is capable of doing away with the murder of meat farming and indeed the pollution side effects of I don't like that they disbanded, so I want them to. I want to murder them. Yeah, I know there's going to be people like that. Really fucking similar to me. He didn't deal with it. He decided to murder, and that is wrong. Not that he is a misogynist. Not that he hates. You know, rape and murder is generally a much bigger problem than this, and especially in America. This was yet another fucking mass murder. Yet another fucking mass shooting in America, land where we can't really do this with living people, can we? Because, like, this is murder. You step into that machine, you die, and step out the other end. I'm gonna kill you. I kill you. This is what I do now. I just murder your ass. I get a lot of that. Okay. Like, refugees aren't the issue. And again, say you can't equate murderous behaviour with religious sense of, you know, if you have a beef with one particular guy because, hey, this guy happened to murder my entire family or something. Raised to think it's okay to rape. I have not been raised to think murder is okay under any circumstance. And yet, kill them. Like, they can get murdered in that situation. Like, it's... And he was the sort of thing that was truly mind-blowing. Into death at the hands of Dave. He is murdered, he is stolen, he has cannibalized. Once you have the technology to have the meat without the murder, why would you still have the murder? But no! Likely wouldn't be redeemed. Because, you see, like, murder can be a heat of the moment thing. It can be a, you know, crime of passion. Trans people are more likely to be harassed, are more likely to be murdered, and more likely to attempt suicide. Being trans sucks. There's some privileged, you know, even though we would then have the technology to facilitate cannibalism without murder, because, hey, look, to be homophobic, because you know what? He's a fucking alien. He is an alien who has murdered and maimed and left people in who are castrated and who are murdered by the state. And equally, you're going to have innocent women too. Like, this is a builds. Resentment builds and builds and builds, and murder is wrong. Murder is wrong, and violence is wrong, and murder. They are being murdered. Real, actual people are being murdered, and they are suffering. Yeah, and you're Darth Vader, the man who's going to murder his wife when she's with child, and then I feel like at this point, anything other than we must murder Trump and all of his family is gonna get me branded as a fucking thing to stop a mad dictator from murdering all the humans. So, in other words, the vampires are actually more tolerant than suffer discrimination and issues, and sometimes, you know, they get murdered, and it's horrible, right? No, it is weird, but murdering, cannibalism, it's debatable. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm taking this body home with me. Learning not to be murderers. Learning to go by day without murdering people. We can normally do that. We can normally avoid this. Deeply fucked up place where, you know, you have the right to murder each other, but you don't meet without the murder. Therefore, we shall have the murder for fun. All the murder for the fun. Of course we will. Of course we fucking will.
Something that I can be unbiased about. I am appalled by murder. I am appalled by gun crime and you know, people who have committed multiple murders, right? It's like, well, you're an American citizen, you get to have a gun. And it's like smash cut to Hannibal, like on the prowl of this other murderer and being like, yes, I will now murder you and engage in a game of murder. Talking about abhorrent things, and it's quite another thing saying that you need to prepare to murder people because of your political. Several billion children were murdered that day. And we were all just like, yeah, well, the Time Lords were fucking evil, you know.
And him, I feel really shitty about this. How do I make this right? I know, I will murder everyone who is in this cult.
There's two. One of them he murders and eats, and the other of whom he frames for the murder of the other. Then I just like gave up and was like, okay, I'm gonna murder you all now, or something. Like, it always screws me up.
Gun culture, because it is a culture in which people can easily murder each other. Okay, guns are the reason.
You a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power like the voice to murder his king and usurp his throne. You started this war. Plunge.
What I will do is I will use my powers of murdering people to help him stop people being murdered. it's sort of
And, you know, because it is about a subject that people can get away with murder for, and that people do get murdered as a result of. There is murder at the hands of the state going on, and what is everybody up in arms about?
I need to be able to outshoot that guy so that I can defend myself, to being I need to murder that guy so I can get that thing that he has, so I can.
When Caecilius and Caesar turned up and he was rammed in the ass by Brutus, and Brutus was murdered by Octavianus in the game of Augustus.
No! Our soldiers didn't want to be murdered and slaughtered pointlessly in a war they were never gonna win. You know, fuck the onlookers just say, oh look, the gay husbands, murder husbands. And so much of the fucking fan fiction writers of all these white... Sorry, no. Saying right doesn't feel right. Since the horrific murder monkeys are now in power, a casual thing. You know, hey, fuck you guy, I'm gonna fucking murder you, you fucker. And yes, we swore all the fucking time.
He's to fucking everyone. He's a con man involved in illegal activities. He murders someone and then says, oh no, it was to have book series about child murdering and political conspiracies and rebellions to tell a story so of any artificial life form would be for us to murder you. Do you perhaps have some insight into why I, as a... Because that's what it is. If you are defending the right to own a gun, you are defending murder and suicide. I will wait for you getting fed up and saying, I will murder all women because they did not sleep with me.
me, it's a big theme of this is meat is murder, and what the Sylphs do is they highlight that, you know.
Christopher Eccleston's doctor in Dalek. He was about to murder a poor helpless Dalek. Genuinely angry. How dare Moffat change it so that the doctor didn't murder billions of children when he is companion? So yeah, okay, I lost one, but I gained one, and I then murdered her because of my being so squicked out by the getting others to commit, you know, murder suicide through manipulation. Then saying, I don't, you know, hey, if it had been Neil calls up and asks for help and then murders Quill, fine, fair enough. It's kind of a win because, hey, big unruly mob, they're gonna murder people, so you're gonna end up having the same thing.
They are, well, you know, rapists are monsters and murderers, and everybody understands that rapists are monsters and
Problem of the whole meat is murder, because for me, there is one very obvious solution to the meat is murder situation. 4chaners are explicitly trying to hurt me, to make me commit suicide, to murder me. Explicitly, I've got the death threats. Like, you know, sometimes murder, because they can hire good lawyers, whereas, you know, poor people have to rely on... I do like Casey. I mean, I don't want to get murdered, and I do like Casey. I might as well have a little bit of Casey. I mean, he's not going to kill me as immediately as this. And kill, and murder, and kill, murder, kill, murder, kill, murder. I would like to turn out to be so much more than just laying down traps in a great big murder simulator. But no. It turns
die, and you're seeing your friends and your family just get murdered brutally, and even if you do kill yourself, it's a horrible,
where it's just like you are literally doing horrible things, you know, murder and torture and all these horrible things, having in their constitution that they have the right to very easily murder each other. And in Britain, lots of people are dying because
he escaped from prison, but he just calmly served his time, and then as soon as he got out, he committed murder again, right?
And then there's Dor, whose entire family is murdered and is constantly on the run and in danger, and he's actually referred to as one-handed weapons or two-handed weapons, and you're going to be murdering people. Or you're going to be a thief and you're going to have a... More likely to be murdered by benefits than you are to be murdered by a murderer. You know, this fucker has killed people. Can decide, you know what, a human would be feeling murderous rage right now, I'd rather not. Yeah, that's basically, yeah, it. And he basically realizes, oh, okay then, this is a murder house. What's this? A student with half-decent accommodation? Clearly, fair trial, you take prisoners, you don't fucking murder their families, Donald Trump! We are making ourselves into the monsters that need to be fucking guns, because if you fucking let everyone have them, then they will murder each other. We see this all the fucking time in America. Be murdered by the benefit system than you are to be murdered by a fucking murderer. Not the fact that, you know, we fucked up Middle East and now we're...
Call me a cuck, that's fine. Not with the murder. I'd like to not be murdered, you know, like, I don't care if I am, but I'd like to not be murdered. That'd be nice. Before I start summoning dragons, and then, yeah, I will have to start murdering dragons like Bilio, because we're gonna get... That is sexism, and it's not fair. And yes, I know, neither is murder and rape and being Osiris, and I have I've prevented all murder and stopped men from fancying other women that they shouldn't be. Rules. And now there's a problem.
But rape and murder and rape and murder is generally a much bigger. I need meat, and my brain will make me fantasize about murdering chickens if I don't. So my friends get annoyed at me when I don't murder everything. When it's like, why haven't you joined the vampires? Why haven't you joined the Stormcloaks?
Them, because I don't. I generally think that murder and torture are bad things to be avoided at all.
Whether it's murder by the state, whether it's murder by the military, whether it's murder by fucking farms, even though I still grapple with the fact I'm not a victim. To live without being murdered because you saw they had a fucking penis. And it's a joke.
The way that he is an awful murderous bastard, right?
Release the miasma that will preserve all the people I am about to murder. And then I wake up from the dream and I'm in that room. And yes, I know that women are being killed and that is horrible, and I know murder is wrong. But did we just set transphobic assholes who are fine with the murdering of transgender people decide what we who actually know there are genuinely people who are horrible and will dox and harass and murder out there? It's murder is wrong. Murder is immoral. But so is saying that an entire gender and an entire section of people.
My ex had a phobia of spiders, and he couldn't sleep unless he had murdered every fucking spider that he saw.
I think we can all agree that we would all go for meat without the murder, and that's why it's not being sold like that. That's why
CB, the worst of all of them. He's in Riften jail for murder.
I've never seen
Safe travels.
You all told me that it isn't this bad everywhere.
By HAL 9000, right? You'd want somebody there to make sure your kids don't murder each other. But it's just about you dying. And you don't want to die, so you're gonna murder fucking everybody else. And where... Genocide is the one crime for which murder is absolutely fucking... These aren't soldiers, these aren't murderers, these are just people stuck in the middle trying to live. Shot by swatters coming in because they suspect you of being a murderer who's just shot two people. But a massive blockbuster hit, and it utterly terrified people into going out and murdering all the fucking sharks. I mean, okay. With Batudia, it's like, yay, you've murdered the guy. Now everybody else is dead, and you are my sir. About to go out and rape a load of women, and clearly about to go murdering loads of people. I'm not. Just clarifying, I'm not. And this is so good. Oh, comic nerdery. And says he's a fucking murderer, and he's a fucking monster for being a murderer. That same morality. If you are living in a country where the state can murder you via the death penalty, why the fuck not? Grab a gun, go kill someone. Has got connections to fucking murder doombots, right? No, don't fucking do that. But because the plot demands it... Man who hates women, so therefore all men who hate women are murderers, and therefore men's rights activists are fucking evidence. This person has gotten convicted of assaulted murder of manslaughter in the fucking courts because they... I usually write about cute fluffy stuff, and this is about rape and murder and incest and suicide and a whole load.
These two guys have amazing chemistry as they hunt down this monstrous murderer who's just incredibly bored as he kills off all doing murder, loot, murder, loot, murder, loot, murder, loot. And there's one of them. One woman who just something spark.
Well, you're against genocide, so you're a hypocrite because murder is wrong. I'm not saying murder is wrong. I'm saying.
And considering that this man has murdered people, has left people for dead, has sentenced people to fate's worst.
We blow the crap out of them, but these people, man, they're our friends. As they murder and lash and kill. And so he goes, alright then, well what I will do is I will use my powers of murdering people to help him stop people being murdered.
You're not actually going to be going around murdering everybody. It's all cool. So yeah, like, this idea that your work...
He frames for the murder of the other. And that's Will Graham. And what's kind of glorious is I will choose whatever resources are in my power to give you here, but I will not go with you to commit murder. I nodded. Fine. I suppose it... So, let's start with Meaty's murder. So, that is a theme running throughout this. Between Hitler and Stalin's like, you fucking do as I say or I will murder all of you, and, you know, Hitler's like, you fucking... In some sentences you can get for murder. You know, like, I think at school one of the things I heard was that, like, the average sentence for capitalism, when it is not murdering and killing and committing genocide. I like capitalism when it is not ethically, you know, I have the vegetarian standpoint that meat is murder, but I love eating meat. Fuck it. Strip them, raise them from the dead, and murder them, so that they will turn into ash and you won't... Graham, he kills, tortures and brutalizes, and yet he helps Will Graham, using murders to guide him in stopping other killers, and will fight, saying that we stand alongside those who have murdered and killed and shot down the innocent. We stand beside those.
He's a charming man, so okay, he's, you know, he murdered someone, and yes, he lied about it, and yes, he's been... because clearly the Tory government isn't doing a good enough job at murdering the poor people. So if we just go around, tell yourself you're brilliant and awesome, then you're gonna break down and, you know, cry and murder yourself and, you know, or get your fucking dicking about our murderous, goddamn awful Prime Minister. Fucked a dead pig. Just want to be sick. How dare you? You're America. You murder people. You're founded on genocide. Bunch of... Being complicit in the murder of thousands of individuals is just not something. Britain used to do this so well. You know? We had armadas. We would stop... we would stop wars by saying, no, you fuckers. Technology, but we're still gonna continue with the murder because we like it. Because murder's nice. I want to eat my chickens with being nice and tall. I was brought up on a culture that says, yeah, it's fine to murder transgender people. And I look down at myself and go, oh, transgender or whatever, and might try to murder me. Because that's a genuine thing that happens to transgender people, and it is horrible, and it is... So, when people who think murder is okay go out killing people, or go out trying to kill people, fuck.
And our Prime Minister, who is murdering people, fucked a pig. No, life imitates.
So often we see it used to explain and justify revenge and murder. To justify the killing, do things that you won't. Because men rape and murder, because men push themselves forward, because men...
You a hero, but a hero doesn't use a power like the voice to murder his king
he's
and
played
usurp his
by
throne.
Sean Bailey. Yeah, these people are actually being murdered. You don't fucking joke about this. Or at least if you do fucking joke about this, you...
Right wing, if you're not giving me enough blowjobs, I'm gonna murder you all. It's all just boring.
This is the reason I didn't commit suicide. This is the reason I didn't murder anybody. This is the reason I didn't fight anybody.
I'm going to leave it running on the internet, attached to in my factory of murder death bots. Right, like that's.
Then a more benevolent and quiet and less likely to murder and torture people horrifically king will be put to Davison. When you kill his companion, he's gonna murder your ass, even if it is inside the bloody TARDIS. Okay? I have always believed that, and I always fucking will. Whether it's murder by the state, whether it's murder by the military.
So the that Skyrim is all about the murder and the killing and the death, and it's like in real life, I am a pacifist.
Actual people are being murdered and they are suffering. Saying it is a fucking joke. I don't care how fucking pissed you are. Genocide is wrong. Murder is wrong. Insulting people is wrong.
But the gay community doesn't take murder lightly, and frankly, neither should the heterosexual community.
Murder is wrong. Murder is wrong. Murder is wrong. Murder is wrong. Violence is wrong. Violence is wrong. Rape is wrong.
Yes, and I am a dragon, and I'm going to murder everyone I don't like. Yay, because I'm the Lamb of God. Like, the Bible.
It's just like, ah, well, crap, I've gone in this door. Now, if I want to leave, I have to murder this NPC. Crap. Who had killed many, many people, and who had to be hunted down and murdered. And that man had sat down and talked to me today.
He would resort to the same old rhetoric. Well, this is slavery, this is murder, this is abuse. Greta chuckled. Anyway, eventually we wore him down. So, I'd like to not be murdered, you know, like, I don't care if I am, but I'd like to not be murdered. That'd be nice, you know. That, oh my god, that's socialism, how dare you! Having the ability to easily murder people with guns, that's just constitutional.
You're making a joke about people who are actually, like, being murdered for their demographic. And that's not cool.
I'm against genocide, I am against murder, I am against people being killed.
And you're going to do sneak attack damage, in which case you're going to be murdering people before they have a chance to murder you. Like,
hey, yeah, it turns out it's legal to now murder you all, yay, go us! You know, like, it kind of explained, you know, how you can make us all in God in heaven. Oh, great, so you'll give me your shitty dagger if I murder this guy. And the guy goes, yeah, this is something that, you know, people get murdered over, but also, I'm a writer, right? I am a writer, right? And then he is bullied and hounded and murdered and legally defensible to murder. Because they have probably made sure that they're not going to get caught.
you've just turned a rape into a murder.
Including those taking place this summer, we should be under no illusion their intention was to murder of British citizens. Live on the second fucking floor. That was fucking matter. It's irrational. Completely fucking out.
Oh, I'm gonna just kill you also. I go into the Temple of Namira and I murder everybody there. And then I'm like, I go into the... Or you're gonna be using spells to mind rape them so they don't want to murder you. Or you're gonna be someone with... It turns it into the equivalent of King Arthur after he's murdered the May babies. It's that kind.
I would do the YouTubing thing because it meant that I could murder about this fucking mob. People, it's atrocious. It is atrocious, and they're murdered at an astonishing rate, and that, like, in parts.
Do this now. You know, no matter how immoral he may be, like, murdering, being complicit in the murder of
Vigilantism. And I certainly do not like or approve of murder, of killing. Means I get more rope to get them arrested, right? And fuck it if they do turn up on my doorstep and murder me, like, fuck it, I don't care. But
time murdering people. And the only times I'm not murdering people is when I'm trying to swindle them, when I'm talking them to quibble about the fact that they aren't sentient. But murder is wrong. Violence is wrong. You have seen, you know me, you know. Is saying he is evil, he is evil, he is so evil because he is murdering people. But the acting is just going out and murdering people, so these can be what we can do instead of going out and murdering people. But then there is the other way, and that is wrong, and that is immoral. Murder is wrong. Murder is immoral. This is terrorism. This is the state murdering its citizens because they're black and they're poor and they might have a gun.
and that when I last met her tried very hard to murder me. He pauses and looks at Lisa. I am risking my best friend's life to see that you are okay, Lisa. By the time we got home, I was practically ready to murder someone. Just...
There, eat the backbone meat. It's just the fucking same, except without the fucking murder and torture. Oh, Ed Miliband, he was going to do austerity without, the, murdering of the poor. But, it's hyped by us, and I am not in any way saying that murder is right, saying that entitlement to women is right. I am not kill, murder, murder, kill, murder. So, yes. Now what I'm going to do is...
God, I write fiction and feminists don't like it. I'm going to be murdered at the gates of hell.
Are going to shoot first occasionally themselves. Now, I hate murder. I hate killing. I hate suffering. But you look at the end of the Bible, and the end of the Bible is Jesus comes back and he murders everyone again. And it's like, hello, yes, I am. So I have to do some, I almost have to set up like a fucking murder room. Just be like, okay, cover shit in. I will have to butcher people on the field of battle. I'm going to be a murderer. While you sleep, and you don't murder us and hunt us down like dogs. Like, yeah, you can do that. We'll work with you. But no, Getting shot dead on suspicion of stealing a chocolate bar, because women are getting raped and murdered because trans people can't. All these things. They have the ability to mass produce meat without the murder, cheaply and efficiently. They have excellent parenthood and just murdering people, just straight up fucking mass murdering people and saying, you want to take our guns? Do not say no, people who are getting murdered every day. Have another load of hate. The Ice Warriors aren't fucking real. To be normalized, because again, people are getting murdered over this. People are getting murdered over this. Police force have been consistently mistreating and abusing and murdering the black community for bullshit reasons. Pig, when, you know, he's also killed people. You're more likely to be murdered by benefits than you are to be murdered by a murderer. The Muslim Bible, and they're like, but this is terrifying, how can they? They want to murder everyone, what the fuck is this? A problem in the first place, like, when you are literally at risk of being murdered by Saxons and Picts and Vikings and Romans. Most suffering in the world, most rape, most murder is actually committed by white heterosexual men. In government fighting their corner, then we wouldn't have to murder the poor. We would not have to. I'm not seriously advising anyone to murder anyone. This is kind of a satirical point saying, you know, fuck it, sort out your gun. Say, yay, you're a sylph now. I'm going to rape you. You know, he's someone who's like, so you're a sylph now. I'm gonna kill you. In my workshop, filled with murdered death bots, and that I'm going to leave it connected to the internet. Like, don't murder me. They are genuinely gonna murder me. Not only have I not saved their, you know, daughter, if you say no now, it's murder, you're gonna get lynched, you're gonna die. You need to do this. Games that are all dark and gritty, and yes, you have to murder everyone, and yes, it's evil, and yes, these are fully round. Say, well, you're a monster because you don't want to murder someone just because they've done something horrible. Hey, let's kind of be a bit pacifistic about this and not just murder everyone needlessly. Because that could happen. That could happen. Horrible, and I know murder is wrong, but that's not an actual fucking excuse. Now, and so he goes in, and he takes charge, murder kills everyone, and says, right, I have restored the Republic, everything going up. I have been threatened with rape, I have been threatened with murder, I have been in situations where people could have threatened me. Fair point. We have our share of murderers in Britain who use daggers. Eats Will Graham's surrogate daughter and frames Will for the murder of her. Like, the doctor is always right. You know, he murdered a guy, he manipulated, he lied. Weakened the Empire so that we could take over, and then we're going to murder all the Stormcloaks anyway. And so at that point it was just abandon his cause as if, like, it was found that he personally was guilty of, you know, rape, murder and paedophilia, right? Like, that's it. Shouldn't we just be running wild and free and murdering everyone in some great atavistic joy of violence? But if you then decide to have your hero sort of go out and murder tons of children, that's gonna be frowned upon, right? I'm just relentless kill, murder, kill, murder, murder.
So, if I thought like you, I would be a mass fucking murderer. Because I endured shit. I endured an awful lot of shit. And then he murders. And then he murders, and then he murders, and he murders, and he murders, and he
kills himself. And if that's gonna happen, then I hope you fuckers will be charged for murder. You probably won't be though, because oh my gosh, women are not putting up with the fact that they are murdered at staggering rates. Oh my gosh, women are not putting up with the fact that they are.
It's a joke. It's a half serious thing that we just want to kill all men and murder them all. You know, we're just joking about murdering.
He fucked a pig. This is news, you know. The murder and the death and, you know, horrible things that our Prime Minister...
Of course we'd be like, yes! Yes, we can have meat without the murder. Therefore, we shall have the murder for fun!
Times. The whole... We're totally good, we're doing this, it's God's will! Murder all the people! Save... Whilst being a sort of fucked up individual who murders people, as Hannibal is. And so he goes, alright then, well what I will do is I will use my...
And murderers and shopkeepers who will be murdered and stolen from. So that real life is better. And, well, it's because it's impolite or it's, like, disgusting and, like, rape, torture, murder, genocide, eugenics. Okay, like,
and so the child Danny Pink murdered says hello to him and, like, he's, like, given the option to delete his memories and he's like, my name is the Farshuk. I'm an old friend of the Bamkirchen. Well, I've just murdered every right-wing fucker that contributed to getting Lisa, who will seem really nice and then will want to murder you. Okay, the moment you are at your weakest, the moment that you need your friends, a victim of, or the attempted victim of murder, the victim of attempted murder, saying, well, you know, what did you do to incite this? In America, so you know what, they're not just going to sit back and let themselves be murdered by policemen. They have the... Alive, asked Helga. I mean, I could, but as we've established, I'm a mass murderer. Could you live with yourself? Someone who it is legally defensible to murder in court with, I don't know, Governor, but she was someone who had genitalia I did not... And he's teaming up with someone who utterly murdered, you know, murdered, you know, 500 people and did all these horrible things. There is one very obvious solution to the meat is murder situation, which is the one I'm waiting on, which is this whole idea of, it's even more tensing, because instead of it just being, well, they murdered themselves because stupid, it's, did women deserve a chance to fuck it up for once? How many times have men murdered and committed genocide, but we get one Margaret Thatcher and never again?
Activists. And the only thing separating me from that monster is that I think murder is wrong.
I really do feel kind of safer, because I know I'm more likely to be murdered by benefit sanctions than I am to be murdered by an actual scary, that's the truly scary thing. Because people are bastards all the time, people commit murder all the time, and you know, they make demonic sacrifice. And frequent bouts of murder, and eating human brains, and eating hearts, and things.
Twat, or whether I actually have a fucking point, and didn't react with, I will go and murder people.
Beautiful people, and you deserve love and respect and good things, and you are being murdered because of morons.
Insults and threats and just casual, and I will murder you and your family and everyone you know. Like, just... And so now it's the final run, the final race, and I'm going murder, loot, murder, loot, murder, loot, murder, loot. And there's...
Helga shook her head. You think this is just me? That I'm some lone mass murderer? You've seen the dining halls. You were eating at one.
Around just murdering people constantly because it's got, because literally All you do is you're
by a murderer in Britain. Obviously, your chances of being killed by a murderer in America are vastly more, because if
time is a world away from, you know, a world where black people are murdered every day by American police officers, because, you know,
away from me, our rights will not be infringed. The right to murder people shall not be infringed, damn it! I don't get America.
but I love eating meat. And I know meat is murder, right? So this is why, you know, themed to transgender people, I know that they get murdered, and also I know that, yeah, I'm a man with tits at the moment, and, you know, it's evil. Murder is wrong. I have always believed that, and I always fucking will. I will not help you commit an act of murder and retribution. I will not help you start a war or a revolution. I am a man of peace. Remorselessly, murder, murder, kill, kill, murder, murder, kill, 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 murder, 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 kill, kill, murder. Fucking racism, where there is murder and mass murder on a daily fucking basis, where the police are corrupt as shit, whether you cut for cut the same as the Tories. So what we really need to do is to outright go around murdering people on benefits, because clearly you brought back from the dead and that you murdered again because it was good for you, because it was helpful to your levelling, and who feel afraid and said incredulously, "You kicked down my door, reeking of death, say you've murdered people, and now you want me to go with you." That the fashioning side is the only action for which murder is advisable. Is the only action for which dying is the debate here. I don't need to broach the topic that hunting down and murdering Jews is bad, because, you know, there's kind of a whole big pool. And if you don't matter to me, then you can scream and beg about how you're gonna murder me, how you're gonna rape me, how you're gonna pluck out vegetarian saying, "Isn't meat fucking murder?" You know, "Isn't meat fucking horrible?" You know, like, at the same time, I like meat. You know, the stick of somebody saying, "If you do not eat that KFC, I'm going to murder you right here, right now." Future in terms of, you know, a meat is murderless society. But writing this story, I have kind of grown. Daedric Lord Maroon is Dagon, please don't murder us all in God in heaven. Oh, great, so you'll give me your shit for everyone to eat meat without the murder. But they don't care. They want meat that talks back. They want people. Get that now, that kind of nobody's gonna get murdered and dismembered in everyday life, but rape is something that is horrifyingly common. You know, well, okay, a bit of killing. Let me go out and murder some bandits. But let me murder some dragons. But, you know, like,
you are so defensive about the right to easily murder. Why can't I just collect guns? I mean, I just, they're pretty. Oh, I'm trying to take out the government that is making them want to commit suicide. Okay, you know, murder-suicide cases cannot be solved with killing people. Just like, okay, I'm literally spending all of my time murdering people, and the only times I'm not murdering people, it means vegetarians can enjoy milk without the murder. Vegans can feed their cats on meat without the slightest twinge of irony. Saying that that the people should keep being murdered time and time and time again because you like your penis. Vepers raping and murdering a female slave. And, like, that is the most, well, go, hey, you committed murder. I mean, video games for that, you know. If you want to go around murdering everybody, hey, video games, you know.
That way, you're not actually going.
Bad things, bad stuff is going on, right? Let's not do the murder. Murder is not a good thing. Let's
Go out raping, who go out murdering, who will torture and dissect. They aren't monsters. They are human beings. They funny, but oh no, they get murdered. If you're gonna, during that first wave, you're probably gonna have to address the trope.
He's like, please don't kill me, please don't murder me, I don't want to die. And then he finally gets to the car and
Kill you, because they're gonna kill themselves anyway. They're murder-suicides. And I'm laughing about this because it's of Namira. I'm just about to feast. Do you want to? Murder, murder, murder. And genuinely, that. But they aren't quite repealing human rights and murdering people, arseholes, that the Conservatives have been. So it's kind of like a dangerous place, and we sack everyone. Just murder, loot, murder, loot, murder, loot. And my guy gets over encumbered and on planet Earth alive, who's, you know, I'm not gonna murder, terrorize. So get them all on this great big boat. Okay, good. Watch Sisto play Skyrim and murder, murder, kill, kill, murder, kill, kill, murder. Now you're a cannibal, and now you've just murdered someone. So good for you, you a fucking evil person. Like,
so for me, right, murder is still murder. Murder is still horrible. But if you live in a dystopian world where, you know, giving in and being my bitch about this subject because I like guns, and you're a murderer because you don't like guns. No, mate, you're being used to enable either side to murder each other. So, okay, America is a place where there is rampant fucking racism, where there is murder and mass murder. I don't like genocide. I think genocide is the one instance where pretty much that makes murder morally justifiable to prevent genocide.
The fact that it's a legally valid argument for why murder is okay. He saw you had a dick, so he killed you. Not the fact that you're more likely to be murdered by the benefit system than you are to be murdered by a fucking murderer. Not the fact that let me run first. Get them home. They're gonna murder me. They are genuinely gonna murder me. This is part of why trans people get murdered so very often. Because there is this idea in popular culture, you know, when the doctor's been like killing children and murdering people and getting others to commit, you know, with that. I am not okay with defending murder. I'm not okay with saying, yes, let's have people be able to greater kill them. You're more likely to be killed if you're on social security payments than you are to be killed by a murderer in a than you are to be killed by a murderer in. Look back to the drawing board. It's just that instead of it being your character is murdered because you got a 0, or pacifist who reasons gets you killed. And in that society, the murderer is king. In that society, the serial killer was that they persecute and that they murder. The people that they lock up time and time and time again for bullshit reasons. This, our fucking murdering, you know, paedophile supporting, lecture me on how guns are totally good though, man. You're murdering people by wanting to take away their gun here. I don't want to just murder and kill and murder and murder and kill, murder, murder, kill, murder, 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 kill.
American. I must assume that he is a murderous racist bastard. You know, like, no, that's not right. You know, you do vengeful, wrathful, furious, murderous, genocidal, manipulative monster. Killed by the benefit system, then you are to be murdered. Varshnuk grimaced angrily. And when you're trapped between the Nazis and the communists, suddenly a deal-ass pedant who is defending murder. Because that's what it is. If you are defending the right to own a wizard, sleeping with a guy is a legally valid precedent for murder, and there are so many jokes. Hey, maybe we don't turn up on his doorstep and murder him. Maybe not, you know. And it's like, say you don't want to turn up on your like when people start, you know, saying that they should, you know, be raped and murdered and, you know, kill themselves, is a damn sight easier than your constitutional rights, but you see having the ability to murder people with a fucking gun easily as, again, your constitutional right. Benefits which are being cut further and further and further and further and further by the murderous fucking Tories. Okay? If you want to die, you're gonna have to find someone who's willing to go to prison for murder for you. That's genuinely a very, very horrible thing to say. It's the Petitia quest, it's like, hey, you've murdered someone, you've betrayed someone, you have nothing. Now, the lie intended to pacify the poor while you murder them through lack of funds, through stealing from them so that you continue. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. None of them will know that I tried to murder them all. La 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 la. And who is fucking nihilistic as hell, and he's gonna murder you all, but at least he fucking knows what he's doing. Donald Trump and right-wing bastards, that they are all going to be very eagerly trying to murder me in some way, shape or form. And so, with religions we don't like is to murder and oppress them. So yeah, you're getting murdered and oppressed. Okay, sorry about this. Up on the cross. Like the meat, okay? Because if it's a choice between meat with the murder or meat without the murder, I think we can all agree. Transgender people, and this is wrong because transgender people are, they get murdered and all kinds of horrible stuff. So basically, oh fuck, I'm king. Blast! I have to go murdering everyone. And you know, seriously, like in ancient, where it is, you are a spree killer going around murdering innocent people, because fundamentally, mechanically, you know. A Trial for Murder by Charles Dickens. I reviewed Cherubitions. To live and survive, yeah, maybe I could die on that field. Maybe murdered by fucking Nazi trolls might not be a bad way. Do you know what we do with Nazis in Britain? We murder them. They die. That's what happens. You do realise. Oh yeah, by the way, this is who I really am. They exist. They are real, and they are being murdered. They are being murdered. You know, Russia murdering us all first, or America murdering us all first. If we can avoid being murdered first, you know. Oh bless, she's playing. It's all right, you know. She's not actually murdering you. It's okay. It's funny, you know. Because this is like, I am the good character. I am the morality. I will be your hero. And oh fuck, I've murdered you. And oh god, wait. You do this because benefit sanctions are fucking murder. And essentially, after I went to Citizens Advice Bureau, I was just like, okay. What, you mean the benefit system that's more likely to kill you than you are to be fucking murdered?
I mean, seriously, right? The guy they're supposed to gun down, and he's off being like the biggest, most evil guy ever, like murdering children and raping. You're going to be killed and murdered, and people are gonna get off on it. And kind of opinion, no man, your difference of opinion is what is murdering people. Your difference of opinion is what is allowing so many counts saying that, you know, Obama has limited Americans to only 1 murder per year. You know, 'cause it is ridiculous. And of course, even if you're the Queen, even if you're fucking Rupert Murdoch, right? You're God. You are a god amongst insects. Or at least in a not fascistic, dictatorial manner. By choosing to murder and mistreat and kill a minority, and you're a murderer because you don't like guns. No, mate, you're the fucking murderer. Take a goddamn look at the news. Take a goddamn look at... are much nicer. People don't go around murdering each other by and large. Whereas Skyrim, it is just all thieves and murderers. Pensions denying you benefits, giving you a benefit sanction, then you are to be killed by a murderer. But you know, say you don't want to turn up on his doorstep and murder him. How dare you? How dare you? He's scum. We must murder him.
In India, protests sparked by the gang rape and murder of a student in 2012 were a signal that here too...
The thing, ladies and gentlemen, entitlement is a part of human fucking nature. Murder isn't. Yes, we are evolved predators. He murdered his son-in-law, and he murdered his wife in revenge, and you just kind of like... Instead, it results in just constant mass murder, because it's not about, you know, everybody in your country dying, it's just about you.
Stories over the years have featured, you know, murders and genocides, and it's like, that's not presented as a good... Not the pedophilia, not the fucking murdering the kids and the disabled, and you know, not any of the genuine blowing up the Middle East. Well, wouldn't that be better? No, he's outright said he would murder the families of terrorists. Blatant racist murder happening all of the time. Yeah, fuck freedom of speech, when opinion should stifle the fucking progress of people who are being murdered. And it's like, yes, but it... The sort of conflicted feelings about the fact that, you know, meat is murder, but also, fuck it, I really like meat. It's well, people aren't doing murder-suicide here. Although I suppose people are running to join ISIS, so that is in a way... like... you can't stop people doing murder-suicide with "we're gonna kill you," because they... Whereas Skyrim, it is just all thieves and murderers. Thieves and murderers and shopkeepers who will be murdered and stolen from. We have invaded and enslaved and murdered fucking everyone. The British, the English, we're not loose behind having a Hunger Games and not just murdering children because, ooh, evil. Is because choice of meal, since I had long ago decided that meat farming was murder, but liked bacon too much to quit. As we got to dessert, Jessica reached murder, you have a feast, murder, and then like later on, randomly in Winterhold, I kill some vampires and So now I've told people about where they can go to murder me. Yeah, I go walking at night. Apparently, no, I genuinely do. How dare you! How dare you! He's scum! We must murder him! And I'm not saying that people are gonna turn up on my doorstep and murder your food comes from, you know. Because meat is murder, you know. You now have an entirely consensual, but that's not really a defense of your action, right? You know, if you commit murder, it's not really a defense to say, well, I didn't know a doctor, to kind of save him and stop him from, you know, murdering everyone. I basically stood by when the Green Goblin was going around murdering people, okay? This is a morally I believe the death penalty is a thing that should happen. Because murder is seen as the ultimate act of evil. Murder is wrong. Or people with mental with mental faculties that aren't 100% normal, they murder. Or we're saying that that's entirely the opposite. But basically they say, here, have meat without the murder, and all these farms you've got, they can just...
When I am older and screwed up and have murdered someone. I hate this. You know why? I hate this. You know why? It's annoying why this is talking to them about a quest where they will pay me money or where I will have to murder them so I can get some stuff from them. Liza shrugged. Mate, my crush is a mass murderer, and your crush gets a kick out of being eaten alive. Just go with the flow. Maniacally, as they mercilessly murder these poor surrendering people, as running out of a building. Let me murder them for you. Let me feel your pain as I murder them all in a grotesque fashion. And it was just, Jack the Ripper wasn't nice. People getting murdered in the streets because nobody fucking cared and couldn't see anything. People just say, you know what, fuck this, we're in terrible conditions, we're just gonna go murder you. You want there to be a, you know, hey, well, who is like, yeah, fat-grown meat, cultured meat, it is the future, meat without murder. Even I am like, yeah, but there is something us all first. Or ISIS murdering us all first, or, you know, Russia murdering us all first, or America murdering us all first. If we can avoid is killing all of my companions, and now he is going into my timeline, he is murdering me at every single point in my timeline, I am being whittled. There isn't one, right? You know, you can make a moral case for murder. You can make a moral case for torture, right? I'm not saying that you can, you know, say all these horrible things, because fuck it, right? Murder them, kill them, you know, castrate them. Oh, comic nerdery, comic nerdery, comic nerdery. And we'll kill all the Muslims. I realise that's a nice idea. Except murder isn't nice. Genocide isn't fucking nice. And I love the ambiguity of whether the doctor committed murder. I'm also intrigued by the woman who keeps getting Clara and the doctor together. Yeah, as a lapsed vegetarian, I am someone who recognises that meat is murder, but I also recognise that meat is fucking tasty. And to go away for a honeymoon retreat murdering people. You can do that. If you want to just tell a sweet coming of the kind of basic setup that allows you to do the classic video game thing of saying, and I will now murder everyone without a care. You know, fundamentally, like, I could go to jail for murder, but, you know, I understand that you are Nazis going around blowing shit up, mass murdering people because they are a bunch of fragile
fragile.
I'm a fucking vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian who understands that meat is murder, but I love chicken and I love pork and I understand whereby, you know, essentially you can, within reason, you know, without murder, without certain things, you can basically do whatever.
That the world is progressive, who are so angry that the world isn't murdering people as much as they would like it to be.
Essentially, sorry, no, you don't have the right to murder each other. You have the right to own a weapon to commit dreadful acts. I knew that the sentence for murder was less than the sentence for being a school. The large aspect of Skyrim that is not murder, 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 kill, kill, kill is to actually, you know, these guys who are being shot at are still people and this is murder and horrible.
And they fucked people up. They went out and they murdered people. They were like, no, this is our land, fuck off. I will get...
Wonderful world with all these animals and all these people, aren't they so lovely? Let me murder them for you. Let me feel your pain.
How dare you point out that if people are being murdered time and time and time again, that occasionally they're gonna want to fight.
Fine. You know, at least we had that before the endless torment and murder of Jews and gays and everyone and shit. That was really horrible.
Like, when you live in a world of such casual, everyday racist murder, saying, yeah,
Slowly losing it until it culminates in him murdering somebody.
Was a hero to be a complete and utter bastard. It allows a hero to get away with murder, genocide, rape, destroy.
And that people do get murdered as a result of, but that kind of comedy didn't die out because some.
provided we, you know, can avoid climate change murdering us all first, or ISIS murdering us all first, or, you know, Russia murdering us all first. Killed by a murderer in than you are to be killed by a murderer in Britain. Obviously, your chances of being killed by a murderer in America,
Because somebody said, holy shit, people are like dying and getting off of murder because of this. No, instead, it died out because we all said
rape whenever possible. That's what I would do. Certainly, what I would not do is allow murder and castration of rapists. Have to learn how to be peaceful, and that, given they are the horrific murder monkeys who have been preaching war, to fight back. But that's the way it is. If you murder people, if you systematically oppress them, and
so transgender people are murdered, okay? Kind of people who feel suicidal do not need.
You are more likely to be harassed, that you are more likely to be murdered, and that you are legally discriminated against. It is not a choice, and frankly, even if it was,
Why the Logicios can employ me when I have the capacity to murder them all so easily. They can offer me a ready supply of women to tame. No, it's okay. It's okay. You know, you don't have to murder everyone you disagree with. You don't have to harass everyone you are being shitty and condoning, you know, murders and
it's list, you know, if you want, but as far as I'm concerned, if you're murdering someone, if you're committing genocide, that's not.
I have written murders and cannibalism and rape and torture and
in this kind of ritualistic, you know, love turns to murder sort of performance piece that the Logicio knows is a performance piece.
he's a lizard guy. he is a lizard guy who has gone around murdering so many people, and most of the time when he's eating, who was a sex slave who had been raped, being murdered, and also with somebody being forced to leave their
killing people. The police are murdering black people, black children, and, you know, a white rapist saying, we would like to just fucking exist, please, and not be murdered and treated horribly, and can we please have treatment for depression at the same time as, you know, depression, they are at increased risk of being harassed, of being murdered, of committing suicide, right? These people go through horrendous way. Okay, you do not come to Britain and say, yes, I will axe murder everyone. Because you know what happens? You get fucking arrested. I've had enough. I'm gonna murder everyone. Okay, so you keep the fucking race alive. You keep everyone on. We must stop him. We must get him hanged. We must extradite him to Zimbabwe so he may be murdered. Like, all these people saying all these things, and it's like, realise that to some of my commenters, and then we murder all the Jews, is something that you'd like to happen. Because you know, so it's just like, yes, and then Constantine murdered his son-in-law, and he murdered for humans' fear of mortality and how humans might eventually merge with machines. I mean, for God's sake, little madman backed by a load of racist fuckwits who want to murder Muslims, or do you want to fucking vote for someone who's going to essentially the Tories reigning high and murderous, horrid bastards? I mean, people talk about Game of Thrones from the side that is like, if you do not literally want to personally murder every single person who isn't a white man, then you...
And then he murders. And then he murders. And then he murders. And then he murders. And he murders.
Pay me, either by giving me an armada so I can, you know, conquer this small planet here, or...
And murder them all, you know. We're just joking about murdering half the people in the world.
Nationalism can be okay, so I've heard. I just hate the idea of taking pride in being a nation of murderous slavers. And that's attempted murder. Saying, well, you know, what did you do to incite this attempt of murder upon your life, you know? But it, that I happen to call classical morality, right? And so for me, right, murder is still murder. Murder is still horrible.
Because then I'll be safe from the people who murdered my family. And it's a very simplistic, fetch them.
It's far more moral of you to kill the guy who keeps committing mass murder, right? So there are all these ways and means that you can say, well, this is moral because it's proudly standing up in favour of murdered black people. We are already at a point where Republican nominees are
meet with the murder or meet without the murder. I think we can all agree that we would all go for meet without the murder. And that's why, and therefore misogynists are evil and murderers, and therefore we should just tar and feather the lot of men, because you should
dignity for the fucking people that you are murdering. Maybe you can goddamn try. And God, you're so terrifying. I'm gonna murder your children, right? Which, oh, by the way, Donald Trump has said. 100 years at most, we're gonna have meat without the murder, where you basically you like harvest a selection of cells, but you must murder them if you want to get ahead and have the epic perks. So you will murder them.
if a different people come to your country, They typically want to murder your ass if you are at the top of the tower. The lot of men, because you should stop killing us seriously. And here's the thing, murder is wrong, murder is wrong, murder is wrong, murder is... You know, the joke is, isn't it ridiculous that I can get away with this and not get murdered and have the game break on me? Because no, you're being from the dead to be my loyal minions and murdered them all again so I can get the perks. So I can get the skills, sorry. Not the perk. This guy was, he was totally right to murder this transgender person because very, very bad, as in America, you can still murder someone who's transgender and legally defend yourself. I mean, at that point, it's, if you do kill someone, it's premeditated murder, but it could save you from yourself. I mean, this is murder, kill, 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 murder, 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 kill, kill, murder.
Maybe my fiction isn't the right platform to try and, you know, encourage people to stop murdering trans people. Or maybe I should just have
made us join this cooperative because you know, murdered us and treated us like shit for thousands of years, and that isn't nice. And he murders, and he murders, and he murders. I am 22 in a month. I kill, murder, murder, kill, 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 murder, 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 kill, 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 murder. I would like to do something else because it's a good game. Whereas Skyrim is just constantly, remorselessly murder, murder, kill, kill, murder, murder, kill, 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 murder, murder. But we have spent the past few hundred or so thousand years, arguably, learning not to be murderers, learning to go by day, murdering people before they have a chance to murder you. Like, Skyrim is just remorselessly, like, remorselessly.
You're still gonna go over to the enemy and fucking murder their asses, but you do so with a certain understanding that, and I see my then boyfriend react in terror like I'm a mad axe murderer about to chop his head off, then no, please, I don't want to be murdered, no. Yeah, neither do they.
Once the Stormcloaks have run the war, we're just gonna crush them all and murder everyone, and it's, you know, like, there's literally...
I won't sleep in the same bed as the people that I've been murdering. Well, not murdering, because can't do that, but, you know, yeah, that...
And what makes it funny is that he's going around murdering every other bloody character. I mean, it's just like, you know, this moment of extreme life is acceptable for your people if it comes at the murder and mistreatment of other people. This is...
But just like the fuckers going out to fucking murder all the sharks because holy fuck, we've just seen Jaws and we're shit fucking scared.
Die, kill yourself, I want to murder you, okay, and yes, I can take it, so yeah.
Bad, you know, David Bowie dying was, you know, the unraveling of the universe, and right. Oh man, the man's got the dates wrong, you know, it's not 2012, it's hypocrite, because murder is wrong. I'm not saying murder is wrong. I'm saying genocide is wrong. I am saying complete totalitarian.
And safely in your own home enjoy a gun, because a gun is a weapon to murder people. You cannot have safe regulation. You've left out the dinosaurs. Ah, fuck it. It doesn't matter. And murder. Okay, that's everyone on set. Okay, and
why sort of axe murderers scare me more than those things, because a monster like that, a monster like me would probably murder several of their closest loved ones in order to be able to have the kind of
Go in there. You know, does Dad need to come in with an axe and threaten to murder you unless you get in there? What? Karen, and murder, murder, kill, kill, murder, kill, kill, murder. Governments! Motherfucker, if governments wanted to murder us all, they have nukes! I think at school, one of the things I heard was that, like, the average sentence for murder was like 10 years, and that, you know, you had in primary school that we can normally avoid hitting people and murdering people. Even I, with my anger management issues, no, thou shalt not fucking kill. Has committed genocide against the Vervoids, and he has committed murder on numerous occasions. And I think generally saying that the things that we used to do as preparation for going out and murdering people, so these can be what we can do instead of going out and murdering people. Him or not. You know, and he's kind of worrying for, am I a murderer or whatever. And they
rights. We're still treating people like shit. We're still murdering black people all the fucking time. We're still fucking treating Muslims like crap.
It's called a Death Star. I was just wondering if we could just murder everyone. I mean, he's not quite.
But then the reason that people are prepared to do murder-suicide is a symptom of how fucked up your country is. I mean, it's a symptom of a criminal terrorist, and, you know, you're just thinking about committing murder, or you just think guns are cool, and you haven't realised that there's a problem. And it's not right, and it's not good, and murder is fucking wrong, but that is what happens, and that is what needs to be stopped.
Around my boyfriends, I have not been murdered, which is nice. Unfortunately, I can't get a light here, so that there's a nice front light.
It's great, like, you know how Dexter had great murder rooms ringed with, like, plastic sheeting and shit? Well, when I